Hello everyone, my name is Davide, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can customize Power BI charts, and in particular in this case a chart with the bars and shapes. So this is a chart that I created in a previous video. You can find the link in the description below. So let's go ahead and see how we can enhance this one here. Because the main goal in here is to provide something more user-friendly, because as we can see, Power BI by default provides a view that has definitely some room for improvement. Not to say that it doesn't look good, but there's definitely something that we can adjust in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep this in here as it is, so then we can compare it once we make the adjustments. And I'll create a duplicate of this page and I'll rename it. I can rename it and there you go. So then once we make the changes in here, we can go back and forth with the original version and see how different it is. So let's go ahead and maybe the first change that I can apply in here is the title, because as we can see, actually both title and legends are aligned on the top left. So ideally we want at least the title in the center. So I'll just go ahead in the formatting under general, and I'll go down here under horizontal alignment and center align it. I can make it also a little bit bigger. There you go. And as we can see here, we also had the level of aggregation in here, the sum of for both revenue and expenses. That's something that I don't really need in here in the title. So I'll just go ahead and remove it from here. There you go. And I'll also add some spaces where needed. So it looks good. One other minor change that I would apply in here is to remove the by year and move it to the subtitle. So this looks good now. And I'll go down to the subtitle. I'll turn it on. And in here we say we just want to put by year. And same thing, I'll center align it, make it a little bit bigger. And I can even put italic. There you go. So now title and subtitle look good. So let's move to the legends now. So if I go under visual, I see the legend by default, once again, is aligned on the top left. So I usually like to put the legends in this type of charts on the right. So I'll move it to the center right. So we can see now it's a little bit more clean, let's say. One more change that I would apply here, as we can see, once again, we have the level of aggregation, the sum. So I want to remove it. And I'll go in here under the fields. Just remove it and add the space in the middle that is coming from the data source. I mean that it was not in the data source. And then same for the expenses. And here we go. We have the legend. It looks good. I can probably make the legend a little bit bigger so it's more readable. So I go down here and I'll increase it by a little bit. There you go. So now title and legends look good. If I go down at the bottom, another change that I usually like to make is to remove the title in the axis, because we know that this is the year, unless we're working on particular charts that have something that is not that straightforward. I know that this is the year, so I can just remove it. So going here, title, we know that it's this one here, and I'll remove it. So this will add a little bit more space to the visualization. And same thing here, I can probably make the ears a little bit bigger. So the value at 9, let's put maybe 11. Here we go. So now we have the ear Let's move to the y-axis. So in here I see that we had the title, and I would like to keep this one in here because it gives more clarity on what these numbers are about. And speaking of the numbers, one change that I would apply in here is probably to highlight less these numbers, because these are not the main focus of the visualization. So I'll just go back in here under y-axis, and I see that under value we have this color. So I'll just use a lighter shade, probably this one here, and now we see that it's still readable but less than before. Okay, good. Now that I look at this one more time, I realize that here in the title, as mentioned before, I didn't want to make any change, but I actually need to make one change, because here it looks like we have only the revenue, but we know that in the chart we have both revenue and expenses. So I would actually go back and remove the title also for the y-axis, considering that we already have the legend in here that explains which one is the revenue and which one is the expenses. So I'll just go in here, same thing that I did for x-axis, and then remove it. Here you go. And a couple of other minor changes would be about the colors. So if I go down, I can change the color of the bars. We had this blue that doesn't really tell me anything, so probably we might want to associate this with the actual field. So we know that the bars are revenues, so revenue is actually something that we want to have as high as possible. So I can probably color code it with a green, or anyway something positive. So I can go with something like this. There you go. And same thing for the expenses. Expenses, on the other hand, is something that we don't that we would ideally try to minimize. So let's color it with something more negative, such as red. And here we go. Probably something a little bit darker. Nice. And that's it. So now we can go back and see the differences with the previous chart, with the original chart. And we can definitely see that our new chart is more readable and more self-explanatory as well. So thanks for watching this video.